All right. We are here, Arkeisha Reese with TeamKareem Foundation. Thank you so much for being here with me, Arkeisha. Truly appreciate spending this time with you. How are you?
Okay, yourself, and you're
I'm
welcome.
doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So you have a tremendously amazing organization, and a lot of the things that you've done were founded off of a lot of pain, and you are trying to help parents not have to go through what you went through. So let's talk, okay? So Kareem Angel Green, your son, and this was in 2006. Tell us a little bit about what happened prior to the creation of Kareem, Team
Um,
Kareem Foundation. Yeah.
just a normal mother working for Children and Families DCF at the time. Um, he was in pre-K. He was just finna enter kindergarten, so we decided to let him go to get used to kindergarten because when you're in pre-K, you with the teacher, she walk you
Mhm.
everywhere. But when you reach the big school, I didn't want him to be, afraid and get lost. I
Yeah,
just
and
wanted to get
uncomfortable,
familiar,
right?
right?
That makes
Because
sense.
he's so little. So they was going on a field trip, and he wanted to go. Like I said, it was a charter school. They was going to a country golf club, but I didn't. My mistake was I didn't go, and I didn't ask questions.
Mm,
I didn't ask questions because I assumed that they had my child would be safe. I thought
mhm.
that they would be, the ratio would be right. They were certified. It would be a lifeguard on duty. I just assumed, but
Yeah.
that never do that.
Mm,
Always ask questions. I don't care how dumb it sound, but just to assure yourself and to make sure your kids are covered,
right.
acts. If not,
Mm.
don't let them go. Like that changed our life. My other kids went on lockdown after that. Like, nope, they ain't going nowhere.
Wow.
Um, no, like my son went to grad night. I'm going.
Wow.
Or he couldn't go. Like simple as that. I didn't trust nobody else, family, whatever. Which is if there wasn't with family, but um, going to work thinking everything's okay, and then you get this phone call, and we couldn't have our phone because again, I'm working for DCF, so phone's got to be off. So I just
Oh
get
my
this
gosh.
message and like voicemail and call. Then as soon as I turn it on in my lunch break, it's like meet me to the hospital. I'm like, why? They wouldn't say anything. So my mom called me. She was like, they've been calling the house, and I'm like, why? So that was a whole nightmare. We beat them there with the ambulance,
Mm.
whatever. But unfortunately, when we got there, he was gone. They wouldn't let me touch him at first, and it was just crazy. I don't wish that on no parent.
Literally a
Um,
parent's nightmare.
yeah.
So, so prior to him going on this trip, did you know that they were going to be swimming or doing anything like that? Was that a part of the and do schools
Well,
do that now? Do they still do that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that was one of the field trips. Like prior to me signing him up
Hmm.
to the summer camp,
Yeah.
um, they said that they will be going on field trips. I knew he was going to water.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
again,
that's normal. That's fun. Kids go to
right,
water.
right. But again, I thought because normally for 5-year-olds, per protocol, per rules, you only supposed to have four at least per teacher. So if there was more, or if it was just two students and 30 kids, you was out of code. You was, that
Yeah,
that
way out.
wasn't
Way out.
right. Right. So that's what I'm thinking. They had too many
What
kids
was the
and
ratio?
I don't know. I like after that happened, they couldn't call me. Like one of the
Mhm.
teachers like tried to talk to me. They showed up at my door. I'm like, if you don't leave, because ain't nothing you can say right now could
Yeah.
bring my baby back. I don't want to hear it. So I relocated after that because I couldn't drive out of school. I couldn't like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just
Of
made me
course, it's
sick.
trauma, man. Trauma.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then my other son wasn't able to be with them because of the, like I said, we decided later on because again he was so small, so we was undecided if should we even let him go. You know what I mean? But
Hmm. Hmm.
he wanted to go to a summer camp too because the other boys was going to a summer camp, but they was at two different ones. One they was at JCC,
Hmm.
but they didn't have room for Kareem.
Yeah. How old was what
The
were the
other
other two?
boys,
Yeah.
Kayron is he was set. I'm sorry, 6, and Keith was 7.
Wow.
Kayron is my stepson, and Keith is my other biological son.
So still all babies
My
essentially.
boys, yeah, they all
Mm.
stayed together. They stayed with me, so they went. They life have changed. They
Mm.
went through counseling.
Yeah.
Um, I could tell some things bother them. I don't force them with the foundation or anything I do. It's if they want to. They both got
Yeah.
certified in lifeguard. They fishes now.
Wow.
Um, but they just it still affect them to this day. Like my oldest, he write pictures like like that was his only best friend and stuff like that. Stuff
Mhm.
like that hurts because
Of course, it's traumatic, man.
yeah.
It's traumatic. Um, how so? I mean, obviously, that wound never closes, right? Uh, how? And I heard you say something about like kind of blaming yourself, and that I would be like that too. Because I had my kid ended up with severe allergies and had a huge allergy attack at SeaWorld, and we didn't expect it. And I was just like, gosh, I was there. I got there after
Right,
she had blown up, but
right,
and I
right.
felt like, but I couldn't blame myself still.
Hmm.
So did you ever get to that point where you realize like,
Well, I don't blame myself now because of what I've learned. Um, because it wasn't my fault. He wasn't with me.
there's nothing you
I
can do?
only was
Yeah.
upset because I wish I would have asked questions.
Mm, yeah.
So that's why when I talk to other parents and educate, I tell them, get the
Ask
details.
questions.
Don't just sign a form because a lot of us, they kids come home excited, and I don't care what grade you in. They
Mm-hmm.
come home excited and want to go on this field trip. You just give them the $20 or whatever it is and say you could go. No, ask questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I tell them that, like, especially around water, go yourself, or
Yeah.
don't let them go because water is dangerous, fun, but you got to respect it. And a
Yeah.
lot of us say that we know how to swim, and you don't. If you know
Yeah.
your child don't know how to swim, don't send them unless you know somebody go be there that's going to watch them because
Yeah.
it takes seconds and it doesn't take much
Yeah.
water.
Mm-mm. Do you know?
And if you're
You know how?
looking at the water on
Yeah.
it all looks the same level. Kids
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know 6 feet is 3 feet unless they know how to read the feet. So that's another thing to teach your children. You see how they say 3, 4, 5? Explain to them that that's how deep you're going. Make sure you
Mm.
stay down there in 2 and 3 feet because as you get to 6, you're not going to be able to swim.
Wow. Wow. And did they say was it so obviously it was huge neglect and negligence, right?
Hmm.
And so when you're thinking about advocating for parents, and this is us teaching parents, because even if you're teaching me, even with this situation, but huge neglect because I don't even know how it makes sense to have kids that small in a pool that could get that deep.
Right. Right. Well, exactly. That's why I say something definitely went wrong because if I had when I go to the pool, I only have one or two. We
Hmm.
stay at the lower end because if they're not your children and you don't know their ability of swimming,
Absolutely
then
not.
why would
Right.
you even take them further to another feet? Like you just
Yeah.
don't do that. Stay down there where you know they could stand up and everybody be good and be in arm reach. You
Yeah.
can't have, so and so down here and so down there. There's no way you can be looking back and forth because it
Absolutely not.
happens so quick. So you need to know,
Yeah.
that's why these stories, it's like, oh, I ran in the house real quick, or I answered the phone real quick, or I did this. No, that's all it takes is real quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
meaning that I've learned that and became an advocate, I have learned a lot with drowning prevention. And it happened a lot. And a lot of times it happened on parents' watch. This wasn't
Mm.
on my watch. So
Yeah,
that's,
that's hard, man.
but but again, to the best of parents, not saying that
Yeah.
they did anything wrong. They didn't know, they didn't
Yeah.
expect it. It happened so quick.
Yeah.
A lot of times the kids wear floaties and stuff, and that gives them a false sense. So guess
Yeah.
what? When the kid take off the floaty, they jump back in thinking that they're gonna float, but they don't, because the only
Yeah.
thing that was keeping them afloat was the floaty.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't
So
realize that. They
no,
don't
because they're
realize that.
small, right?
Mhm.
They're small. So
Yeah.
that's why I try to do different type of swimming lessons or
Mhm.
survival lessons, because depending on the age, it's better to teach them how to survive, to swim and float. You turn
Yeah.
over versus having on a life jacket.
Wow. Wow. So that's one of the key things that you guys teach,
Hmm.
how to survive. And so talk about the foundation. So Team Kareem Foundation.
Yes, Team Kareem MemorialFoundation. Our logo is a dinosaur because he loved dinosaurs. He was
Oh,
just a happy kid, and always had his dinosaurs. But we raise funding for swimming lessons, CPR, and water safety education. I
mhm.
just implemented this year lifeguard training for our youth, because there's a lot of jobs out there, especially, in Orlando, where we have Volcano Bay, we have all these aquaticas, different areas where that'll give them a skill and then they'll have a job,
Right.
and it pays well, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
so that's what I try to do. Hopefully, in the near future, I get a location, and be open year round, and everybody could come to my training facility.
I love
That's
it. I
the
love it. That's the goal.
yes, yes,
You'll
yes.
get it. It'll 100% happen with your passion and your wherewithal and your strength.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's going to happen. How many kids have you helped through this program, you think, ballparking?
Over for far as swimming,
Yeah.
over 200.
Wow,
Um,
that's phenomenal.
yes, and then CPR, I would say over 50, and water safety education, thousands. I
Wow.
educate a lot.
Wow. Where do you spend most of your time? Schools or like, you
Yes,
know?
schools and camps. Sometimes I have a difficulty with certain camps. I gotta be cautious of how I come because of the situation happened at a camp.
Mm,
So some of the schools be don't want me to scare the parents, but I explain to them, I'm not scaring them. I'm just educating them. That's
yeah.
all. I'm
Yeah.
just letting them know. Not saying that you did anything wrong. You're looking like you're doing something wrong if you don't let me talk to them. My personal
Yeah.
opinion. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just educating. So I have to
Mm,
sometimes do it a different way. Um, but I have to tell my story and be honest.
yeah.
First field trip, last field. That's what happened to my
First
baby,
field trip, last field trip.
right? And drowning is number one. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's car seats and seat belts, DUIs, but drowning is number one
I had no
for under
idea.
five.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up.
I had no
And
idea.
secondary from 15 and under.
Wow, I had
Yes,
no idea. And people, we love water as human beings. I mean, nothing's better than some water, because even yeah, I put my kids.
especially now. It's like
Yeah,
100
it's a
degrees.
hundred and
So
something degree. Yeah, and I put my kids. They started swimming when they're like 2, 3, and now they can really swim. They're on swim teams. But that's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? And so even to this day, there's so many kids that are 6, 7, 5, 4, 8, 10, 12. That don't know how to swim. My sister, and I love her. She's 26, and they're not like Samantha. You really have to learn how to swim. You're too old for that.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
real.
It is, and I run into that a lot, and that's why. And then it's too, um, I could say a lot of it is hereditary or generational,
Cultural, right?
because
Hmm. Yeah,
but just think about it. If
right.
I don't swim, I'm not going to be taking you to swim because I don't swim.
Yeah.
So I run into that a lot. So I'll be trying to break it like, no, take them to swim, and then you still learn to swim or
Right.
learn CPR, because in the event of accident or situation, because everybody go to a barbecue. Everybody have been to a beach, so it's like, not to say that you're not around water ever. It's a point in time that everybody be around water, even the bathtub. I mean, for little ones, they
It's
drown in the
happened many
bathtub.
times. Yeah, many times it's happened.
Mhm.
And even with a little one can save himself in the bathtub if they know how to float,
Correct.
Yeah, or
Correct.
get into the right position.
Exactly.
So you have a really amazing event coming up.
Yes,
So
the gala. It's our second annual gala, and we're going to be following CDC guidelines. It's September 4th from 5 to 10. It's going to be at the Marriott Lakeside in Orlando.
Awesome.
Tickets are $100, but the proceeds go towards swimming. Not all of it go towards it, because I have to pay for the meal and the venue and the your drink ticket. Come with 2 drink tickets as well. But we're going to have entertainment, auction, raffles. It's going to be
love it.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event. And so how can the community support? How can people support? So buy tickets.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Take over, Sasha.
Buy tickets. Yeah, get on the website, right? Sign up.
Yes.
Sponsor, make donations and proceeds. Anything else you can think of?
Yes, that's it. If you sponsor, please. If you can't make it, I don't care the amount. 50, 100, whatever you can donate towards saving our children is appreciated. If you want to reach me for a donation item to pick up for auction, please inbox me. You can email me info@teamkareem.org. Facebook, TeamKareem MemorialFoundation. Everything is Team Kareem.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And for parents that might be interested in utilizing, your services or becoming a part
my website.
Okay.
TeamKareem.org. I have the scholarship there. So if they're interested, they can fill out the scholarship and email it back to me.
Yeah, and it's all scholarship based.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. That's a blessing. That's a blessing for you guys to be able to do so much,
Yes. That's why I try to I try a lot to share my story and get funding, because I don't like to say no, especially as a parent that has been through the tragedy myself. If I have to come out of pocket, which I have done before for my regular business, to save a life, then I do what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Arkeisha, you are strength embodied in a beautiful woman. I am so grateful that you decided to spend, 20 minutes of your time with me today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And I pray that we get a good amount of people that pay attention to this, can jump on, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 12 or 20, those folks that can make a difference and can really help. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you again. And we will definitely share all of your info. And I'm sorry, my dog Nyla is going crazy.
You okay?
So we will talk, and I'm so excited to be able to be a part of this and help out any way we can. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Again. We'll talk soon.
Take care. Bye.